your time from Monday to Wednesday was not effectively spent, action will take the place. How chronic one's procrastination. Using the mosquito example again. Hey, Sonil here. Thanks guys, you are loving so much on social medias with our content and videos and all. I'm so happy. Today I'm here with another new topics. How to stop procrastination. Okay, so let's talk about it. Is there something you are procrastinating on in your life right now? What is it? Is it related to your work or your relationships, your family, or your health? What is the one thing you should be working on in your life, but you are putting off for one reason or other? First of all, why stop procrastination? Some may not see procrastination as a real problem because they feel that they benefit from procrastination. For example, when you successfully avoid something to have procrastinating on, or you procrastinate on something and you are somehow able to finish it in time, hence cutting down the time spent on it. But while you think that procrastination puts you in a better place, it doesn't. It is just an illusion. Just for example, say it's a Monday now and you have an important report to finish by Friday. The report is one of the most important tasks on your to-do list, but you put it off due to large amount of research needed. Rather than work on it, you spend the next 3 days working on less important tasks, right? Then Thursday arrives and you are trapped, right? You have to work on the report. You find yourself in a hot soup because there are so many things to do after all. That's the reason you put it off initially, right? Because there is too much to do to meet the deadline. You will pull an all-nighter. After painfully slogging through the night, you manage to finish it 4 a.m. and meet the Friday deadline. So, in the end, the task gets done. The report is submitted on time and everything turns out fine. Did you realize what just happened there? The fact that everything turned out fine made you think that procrastinating did not bring about any negative effects. In fact, to you, it has a few supposed benefits. Let's talk a little bit. 1. Leaving the tasks on the last minute creates a sense of urgency, which appears to boost your productivity, giving you a higher output per unit time spent working. You experience from relief from not having to deal with the report on Monday to Wednesday. Procrastinating did not jeopardize anything in the end because you met your deadline. But when you look at it honestly, procrastination has created downsides that were not immediately noticeable. Just like your time from Monday to Wednesday was not effectively spent. Ideally, you want to allocate time to tasks based on its importance. The more important a task, the more time you should allot to it. Spending more time on less important work doesn't give a big increases in your value. Because the work is already less important, a ratio I use is 80:20, where I spend 80% of my time on high impact tasks and 20% on low impact tasks. For more knowledge, you can go through the Live a Better Life in 30 Days program, which is, I forget somebody that I did, recent Lekhani or someone. By the way, it was in Mind Valley website. Okay, on creating your 80/20 to-do list. Number second, on this same, unnecessarily unused, whatever consciously or subconsciously, from trying to avoid the task. The more you prolong the task, the more anxiety you get compared to if you had dealt with the task head on. This anxiety is unnecessary. Not only that, but your continuous avoidance from a distorted image of how intimidating the task is in your mind compared to what is really is. In the end, you have an exaggerated but baseless fear of the task you are supposed to do. More often, not the final output is sort of what you really capable of, as leaving it to the last minute leaves you with insufficient time to create your best output. When you comparing these two things, the cons far outweigh the supposed benefit of procrastination. Not only are less productive, but you experience unnecessary anxiety and deliver an output that's sort of what you can do. Procrastination puts you in a worse position versus if you don't procrastinate. As I said, avoidance does not bring you closer to what you want. Procrastination is a form of avoidance. So if you sometimes procrastinate on your goals and tasks, it's time to resolve this and stop wasting your life away. As long as you keep putting off what you should be doing, you are putting off living. This is no better than being sleepwalking. So let's talk about symptom of an issue. possible to stop procrastination? My answer is yes. While some may think that procrastination is a part and parcel of everyday living and it will be experienced in everything we do, this belief comes from not truly understanding what causes procrastination. Life is not about procrastinating and putting off things. By fully understanding what causes procrastination, you can tackle it effectively. It is important to note that procrastination is often a multifaceted problem. I run a session called Anti-Procrastination Program to help those Coach Me students overcome procrastination. And there are often many possible reasons and causes for procrastination, all of which take time to uncover and address. But what I am going to share in next few parts of this video, this subject, this topic will help you to get started addressing this problem. How can you address procrastination? Right? Symptom of the issue. To overcome procrastination, you must realize that procrastination is not the real issue. Procrastination is just the symptom of the issue. The same goes for laziness, poor time management, and lack of self-discipline. Many people are quick to pinpoint this as the root causes of their problems because they are the most accessible answers. And the real reason is deeper than that. A useful analogy is mosquito bites. What happened when you got a mosquito bite? Most people will stretch it. Some will put ornament to apply an antiseptic cream, I guess. The itch from the bite that elevated and soon it heals. However, is the problem really solved? It's not. The mosquito bite came from a mosquito. Until the mosquito is out of the picture, you will continue to get new bites, new mosquitoes. Repeatedly putting ornament or creams is just a temporary fix or solution. Putting a mosquito net maybe are little more effective solution, but it still does not deal with the problem at its root. Even if you get rid of the mosquito, it's still not addressing the real problem. Getting rid of one mosquito does not mean more mosquitoes won't be coming on your way. After all, the mosquitoes must be coming from somewhere, right? Where are they coming from? If you trace their origin, you may find mosquito breeding spots in the potted plants in your house or dust which you threw, right? But wait, it doesn't end here. How did this breeding ground come about to begin with? If you look deeper, you will find that the real problem is negligency and the poor house maintenance, right? Trying to tackle the issue through any of the intermediate step like ornament, killing the mosquito, removing the breed grounds, or putting nets, right, will only lead to a temporary relief, but not the long-term resolution. Only by practicing due diligence in house cleaning will this problem be permanently resolved. So coming back to the procrastination, think of laziness, lack of discipline, and procrastination as mosquito bite. We talked the symptom of your problem. Time management and self-discipline are our ornament or antiseptic cream that patches the symptoms. They are lower tier solution. The sum applies for life hack tools or tips from what I said, Leslie. This way, that way of procrastination, including things like use a timer or use a such blocker, side blockers, right? Well, they do alleviate the problem in a certain manner. They are not holistic solution. You can use them every day, but doing this will never solve your problem of procrastination. I could have easily say like 50 way of deal with procrastination, which would take far less time and thought. But that is not going to move you forward your problem. On the other hand, if you get to the roots of the issue, first killing the mosquito, then identify the breeding ground, and ultimately changing the bad habits that lead to mosquito breeding grounds, you are leaps ahead in overcoming procrastination. This is what the rest of the parts is about. Understanding what causes procrastination and then resolving these factors at the root level. One important thing to understand is that the size of one's issue can be gauged by how chronic one's procrastination is. Using the mosquito example again, the more bites you have and more sharp each bite is, the bigger the root problem, such as a large breeding ground or multiple breeding grounds or deadlines of mosquitoes species, right? Similarly, the more sharp and chronic your procrastination, the bigger the problem you are dealing with. What caused procrastination then? What is the definition of procrastination? Again, it means to put off doing something, to avoid. So what leads people to avoid something? After working with thousands of clients and different procrastination problems, I have found that all causes of procrastination can always invariably be linked to two factors, which are desire and fear. More specifically, a lack of desire and a fear of something. Two drives, desire and fear. Desire and fear are the two main forces involved. When it comes to action, desire is the fuel that moves you forward. Without desire, you have no driving force for taking action. Fear is like a fog that surrounds you and paralyzes you from moving forward. When desire is less than fear, procrastination will happen, guys. Consequently, when desire is more than fear, action will take the place. If there is a lack of desire combined with a feeling of fear, procrastination will always take place. Let's take one example. Students in a school, most students study for sake of studying. They feel empty about they are studying. In addition, they shift competition in a school instantly for homework, coursework, create a fear towards their studies, because there is a never-ending pressure and pain linked to studies. As a result, you often see students procrastinating on their studies and dreading exams. I want to dive deeper into the driver of desire, the cause of procrastination. Lack of procrastination happens because there is a lack of desire. For example, someone who procrastinates on her work because she lacks passion for it. Someone who procrastinates going to a social networking event because she is not interested in social networking. What should you get? A never-ending flow of desire. In anti-procrastination program, I used to teach my student 3 steps to do this. Let me share with you as well. Uncover your why, number 1. Ask yourself why you want to achieve that goal. The most powerful why is not a logical reason, but an emotional one, 100%. Number 2, recognize implications of non-action. Imagine if you made 0 progress in the goal for next 5 years. What would your life be like? How would you feel? And number 3 is create your ideal vision. Think about your ideal vision. What is your ideal vision that inspires you from within? How I used to procrastinate in school. For example, when I was 12, 13, I was disinterested towards my own studies. I was much more interested in working on other stuff like social services, like helping and those, and specifically in my grandfather work, like he is a priest, which was my hobby that time. Then in school, I barely paid attention, nor touched my textbooks even. My dad always used to scold me. I was never prepared for my exams. I'm not saying because of this video, I'm saying the truth. There was a point where I hated school and would be avoiding going to school even by feeling like illness, by making some excuses, needless to say. I underperformed versus what I could have achieved. My underperformance is my studies led me to be discriminated by friends and society, parents, where people label you based on a number on your result slip. It was an eye-opening experience when I entered into the junior college, like +2, I continued to be disinterested in my studies. In junior college, I was a new one, and because it has no national ranking, 8 was considered one of the worst junior colleges in the country, where rejects would go. So focus on ranking, numbers and results is a consistency issue where I live. They call this is meritocratic society, where people constantly judge others based on their results or grades, which is only one aspect of a person's achievement. Because I rejected how hung up the people were over grades, how zombified of the student around me were, constantly studying, hating life. I resisted the studying. My school environment was very like toxic politics and many things, and I was surrounded by many negative college mates, right? I continue to hate my studies and procrastinated doing so. However, I eventually reached a point where I became sick of procrastination. I thought about what I wanted out of my life. I realized that if I hated studying so much, I could simply quit school, like college. Sure, it would be create immense stigma. Sure, my parents would probably hit the road and be very disappointed. But there was always the option for me to quit if I really wanted to. And if I choose not to quit, then why not make the best out of it rather than waste my time mocking around? By discovering my why, getting clear on why I want to study, which is to make the best out of my life, and recognizing the implications of non-action, continue to push and pull procrastination situation, wasting my life away. I became naturally motivated to study myself. I did not force myself to love studying, but simply recognize the role of my own life. I later enrolled into the University of Nepal, Tribhuvan University, which is one of the good colleges into education in Nepal. Because I was naturally motivated to study. I was proactive in my coursework. Procrastination was hardly an issue. Except for certain modules, I was not interested, like finance. Okay. There was hardly a moment when I wanted to avoid schoolwork. I greatly enjoyed my university life, and I was the dean's list every academic year, honorary roll result for the top performers, and eventually graduated as a top student in mathematics in education. I share studying tips in my many sessions as well. Let me share something about working with my clients. Likewise, when I'm working with my clients, one of the biggest reasons for their procrastination is because they have not figured out their why. They may say that they want to achieve X amount of money, or the level of business, or level of life, but they cannot articulate why exactly they want it. The most powerful why is never a logical reason, but the emotional one, 100%. One that reverberates deep in your heart, that stirs you up inside, that creates a deep result in you to charge forward. My coaching sessions with them involve deep digging into their why, to discover, to uncover their truest reason for wanting to achieve that goal. When you connect with your deepest why, procrastination becomes hardly an issue. That's because you have connected with your deepest self, your true fuel for your goal. The times when procrastination does come up would be due to fear, which is second root cause of procrastination, which is fear. Fear is another root or second root of procrastination. Well, you can have a desire to do something. If you have a fear that is stronger than your desire, you will still procrastinate. This fear can be any fear. Fear of pain, fear of uncertainty, fear of hardship, fear of losing control, fear of being incapable, fear of rejection, or fear of being alone. Well, this may sound bizarre. If you examine the areas of your life that you are procrastinating on today, even though you want to work on them, the reason is likely related to a certain fear. This is especially common for procrastination, where the procrastination as they fear doing something in less perfect manner than they envision, thereby affecting the ideal images of themselves. Let's take the example of one of my friends, James, a driven and competent individual who enjoys his job. He has a work deadline that he is procrastinating. If we ask James why he is avoiding the task, he firstly answered, maybe because I don't want to do it. Upon probing, we find that he is procrastinating because he finds the task a dream. Why? After more probing, he reveals that the work is too much for him to handle. Understand? Well, the answer is rearing its head. It's not the real reason. After all, many people face overload of work, but not everyone reacts to work overloaded by procrastinating. Why does James procrastinate when there is too much work? If we dig deeper, we may find that procrastination is due to loss of control from being overwhelmed. He fears losing control because not being able to control makes him feel low in self-worth. James' procrastination is his attempt to avoid feeling worthless or incompetent. Similarly, many cases of procrastination are driven by a fear or several fears. If you want to listen, let me share my procrastination with public speaking before. Right? Years ago, after starting my career, I started getting invited to talk in corporate companies, like corporate businesses. I would be excited every time that happened because it meant reaching out to new audience base, new companies, new people, new job, employees. However, I noticed that I would delay the preparation work, making the slides, practicing the delivery, till one day before the talk or even the day itself, even though I really wanted to prepare a week ahead of my time. Even though I would say finish the preparation in a time and deliver a great speech, my procrastination was a big issue for several reasons. Let me share with you. While everything turned out fine, it could have been better if I had spent more time to prepare as I had originally intended. My contact point with my audience is my one chance to share my message. Not putting my best foot forward means that I may miss out a chance to move someone in their path of growth. The whole process of procrastinating, stressing about the task, and delivering something less than what I am capable of, it's worrisome. The first time this happened, I thought that it was just a poor time management. When it happened again, I suspected that maybe something else going on. That it occurred a third time, a fourth time, and fifth, sixth, and ninth time. By then, it was so much clear that there was some pattern going on and I had to get to the root of it. I dig within and asked myself, why this hell is happening? I was avoiding the task due to lack of desire. Certainly not. I'm always enthusiastic, energetic about new speaking opportunities. It represents more exposures and the ability to touch others. That's a part of my long-term vision to help others grow and untighten the universe as a one. So I asked myself, why the heck I am procrastinating on preparing for my upcoming speech? The intermediate answer was, I don't feel like it doing it. A natural first response with every self-questioning exercise. I asked again, why don't I feel like doing it? New answer emerged. So much work needs to be done. It's such a treat. And this is going to take a lot of time. In my mind, I had subconsciously painted an elaborate presentation process. I envisioned being as good as a top speakers like Les Brown, Tony Robbins, Lisa Nichols, Robin Sharma, but I was nowhere near that standard. Thus, I felt that would not lot of preparation. My next question was, Why do this matter? So what if there is so much work to be done? Why procrastinate? My voice in my head spoke because it makes me feel out of control. This was amazingly interesting. I surprised and pressed on further. Why is being in control important? Because if I'm not in control, it means that I'm not good enough. I'm incapable. It hits me there. And then what was going on? Because one, a part of me had linked my self-worth to my skill in public speaking. And two, I was not good in public speaking compared to my ideal vision of myself. I had lowered my own self-worth, thus any situation that reminded me of my lack of expertise in public speaking would make me feel lazy. I would then procrastinate on my speech presentation. In conclusion, my procrastination was due to fear that I was unworthy. This answer caught me off guard as I did not measure or scale someone's worth by their skill in something. Just because someone is beginner in something does not mean that he or she is not worthy. I remember somebody says, every successful person is beginners in beginning. Likewise, just because someone is an expert doesn't mean he or she is more worthy than others. Everyone's level of self-worth is the same regardless of who they are and how good their skills are. I'm passionate about being a powerful speaker. I knew that in order to become a better, I have to start somewhere with all experts. I certainly don't expect to become a better by avoiding speaking. These are all things I understood on a conscious level. At a part of my subconsciousness had the flawed notion, probably conditioned from young. Realizing was liberating by uncovering my fear. I could immediately see how silly of my thoughts were. When you uncover the real reasons causing by procrastination, you will find that is usually the result of very silly, misconvinced beliefs. Many of my students experienced this when coaching the anti-procrastination program. Their procrastination is often due to one or two poorly formed beliefs when they were young, which then ripped out and caused negative impacts in their life. After uncovering my hidden fear, I was able to immediately rectify the misconception and resolve the internal misalignment. And my problem was that I did not know. I was thinking very subconsciously by uncovering this subconscious fear, I could immediately address it from within. Assume procrastination is a problem you face and want to address. In my coaching of anti-procrastination program, I coach my complete set of framework and tools and strategies to overcome procrastination for life. In this video, I share a simplifying 6-step exercise to get you started on tackling procrastination. Exercise to uncover why you procrastinate. I will tell you something, you have to do it. Let's have a little break. Grab a pen and paper if you do not have right now. I will wait for a while. I hope you grab it. Open your word processor. Set aside 15-20 minutes or so. For this, we will be doing a fair bit of writing for this exercise. Think of your mind as containing thousands of layers of information. Below these layers lies your subconsciousness. Every day, more layers get peeled on as you face new situations. In order to get down to your subconsciousness, we need to clear off these layers. You can done through step 2 or 4, 2 to 4, and get down to depth of your mind. Ready? Here we go. Number 1. Identify something you are procrastinating on even though you want to work on it. This should be an area where you have displayed a continuous pattern of procrastination. For illustration purpose, I will use the example of exercising to keep fit. Number 2, ask yourself, why am I putting this off? Write down everything that comes up. You may have 1 answer, 2 answer, or even more, 5, 6, 7 answer. It doesn't matter. Even if your mind responds with, I don't know, write that anyway. Then ask the same question again. Chances are you are getting to get a different answer each time. Just keeping on writing until nothing else comes up. This process may take anywhere from 5 to 10 minutes or 30 or 40 minutes if there are lots of stuff to write. Everything you write in step 2 are your first level answer. Possibly, first level answer for procrastination on exercise are. It's like I'm just giving you an example. I don't want to exercise, I'm too lazy, I have no discipline, exercising is boring, the gym is too far, I don't know, I hate exercising, I don't have enough time, I'm so weak I cannot exercise, something like that. Let's go to number 3. Picks out hot spot answer for problem. If you remember part 2 act 2 which we talked, I shared that laziness and lack of discipline are rarely the real issues, right? A process involving discipline and time management are likely ornaments and creams of mosquito bites. They patch off the symptoms without dealing with the root of the problem, right? So ignore answers like I'm lazy, I have no discipline, and I don't have enough time. Probing in those areas will usually get you nowhere. Referring to the other answers, pick out of the hot spots answer for probing. Hot spot answers refer to any answer that is more than meets the eye. When probed, they reveal other layers underneath. Hot spots answer are usually tied to, like your feelings such as a desire, fear, feeling of discomfort. Example are, I don't feel like doing it, I'm scared, I feel tired, I'm shy, I hate doing this. And your ability. Examples are, I don't know how, it takes so much time, or there is much to do. In the exercising example above, which we talked, some hot spots answer are, I don't want to exercise and I hate exercising, right? Now, number 4, probe into the hot spots answers from step 3 we talk. Dig into the answer to uncover what lies underneath. One of the ways I share with my coaching students is to question why this is the case or why this matters. Some example to dig into hot spots answer. I will give you three of one. I don't want to exercise, or whatever it is. Ask yourself, why don't I want to exercise, or why I don't want to that thing. Second, I hate exercising, or I hate reading, something, whatever example you want. Ask yourself, why do I hate reading or exercising? Number 3, I don't know to do this. Ask yourself, so what if I don't know how to do this? What does it mean if I don't know how to do this? Why is this stopping me from doing the task? Right? Let's go to the number 5. Repeat step number 4. Until you can reach an aha moment that cracks the issues wide open. Keep probing until you get an aha moment. My coaching student asks me this. Asks is, how do I know if I have reached an aha moment? Interesting. The short answer is this: you will know when it comes. You will feel a surge of resonance. You arrive at the answer because everything suddenly clicks and makes sense. You finally realize why you have been avoiding this activity the whole time, not because of laziness, but because of something else. For example, here is some relevance of my students. Someone who procrastinates losing weight to be more effective or attractive, let's say, because he or she hates himself or herself and wants to be unattractive so no one will like him or her. It's not true. Someone who procrastinates getting close to his or her parents because he or she is afraid of being alone when they pass away one day. Third, someone who procrastinates finding a partner because he or she has low self-worth and is afraid of putting him or herself out there. Fourth, someone who procrastinates rehearsing for a performance because he or she is afraid that he or she is incapable and can use the excuse of lack of preparation if his or her performance is not the best. 5. Someone who procrastinates going to work because he or she has lost the passion for the job. The more connected you are with your higher self, the easier the exercise. If you often take time to reflect, this exercise will be relevantly easy. Chances are the answer will affirm what you already know about yourself. In other hand, if you frequently repress your thoughts or feelings and have low self-awareness, This exercise may take longer. You may find yourself blocked where the same answers keep surfacing. This may also happen for self-aware people when they try to dig into the blind spot of their lives. This is where having a coach is really useful to help you uncover your blocks. Some of my coaching students experience this when we deep dig into a deep set pattern in their life, where the only answer that comes off is I don't know or I'm not sure. When that happens, don't give up. Don't give up. Just because you don't reach an aha moment the first time round doesn't mean you are not getting to get the answer. Every time you communicate with your subconsciousness, you build a stronger connection with it. As long as press on, the answer will eventually surface. Other things you can try, like I will add some value on this. 2. 1. Ask the questions in different settings. You don't need to do the exercise at one go. You can do in different settings. Number 2, use different angles. If you reach a dead end, backtrack to previous answer. Then ask the different question or ask the same question in different way. A question like, why I'm not doing this task can be phrased as, what is making me avoid this task? Or what is it about this task that's making me avoid it? Or why am I not working on this? Well, some of the underlying beliefs for procrastination may seem crazy. For example, procrastinating on losing weight because you want to repel people, they are very real reason for procrastination. My clients and coaching students are often shocked when we do the deep digging exercise together, and they uncover the all hidden nasty beliefs from you. These are usually misconvinced beliefs formed due to negative experiences or incidents when you are young. What I call childhood stories. As we less self-aware at our young age, we form many beliefs based on what we observe without knowing what is right or wrong. Over and over the years, these beliefs get embedded into our subconsciousness and guide our external actions, such as procrastination on something, even though we consciously want to do X or something, I mean to say. And now number 6, if you had counted from first part, okay? Create an action plan to solve the root issue. Having uncovered the root, create your action plan to address that. Realization of the root issue is often enough to trigger one into action. That's because it's become obvious that procrastination is the wrong solution to move forward. For example, if you have lost passion for your job, your immediate move should be to identify what you are passionate about and pursue that. Procrastination in your current job only prolongs the issue. is not getting to help you in any way. Another example is procrastinating on finding your life partner because of low confidence. The logic step forward should be to work on your confidence, not to avoid relationships your whole life. Once I had a client who was procrastinating on losing weight. After driving into the root cause, we found that her procrastination was because of lack of self-love. Deep down, she did not want to lose her excess weight because she did not want to get unwanted attention from men. Another reason was because she did not want to be beautiful. It's by her definition, by the way. Because she did not associate herself with beauty. Since young, she had thought of herself as an ugly doll. This was due to lack of self-love. She did not see herself as a beautiful. The solution here is to work on self-love while working on weight loss, rather than losing weight to love herself. So, do you see the difference? Tackling the root cause, because this is what is stopping you from achieving your goal. You can use many like action plan to improve self-love, which includes saying positive affirmation, addressing negative body image, removing critical relationship, and working on personal goals. So at the end, just I want to share with you my anti-procrastination program. You have just listened this all the parts of video and you reach here. If you did not watch the previous episode or part of this video, watch it first and come back here by pointing of this, noticing on this time. On this video, I just share with you the basic steps of tackle procrastination. I hope you have found it useful and impactful for your life. If you are serious about overcoming procrastination for life, I have designed the anti-procrastination program. I used to say APP, my one-step coaching about these topics to stop procrastination for life. This course is designed after 3,000 around coaching sessions, which I have done in last year, and helping many participants, many students from all walks of life overcome procrastination in different life areas, from work to health to love life, your entire life, I can say. I share my complete toolkit to overcome procrastination, along with students, participants, example, and those case studies, right? So it's up to you. If you want, you can contact us by using our email address or even in social media that you can. So thank you so much for watching this. I hope, again, this became so much impactful in your life. Thanks with love and respect. Don't forget to share, subscribe, comments below. Live with kindness and blessings. This is Sonil Parajuli, your coach.